Greetings. Sun Tzu wrote, amid the turmoil and tumult of battle, there may be seeming disorder and yet no real disorder at all. Amid confusion and chaos, your array may be without head or tail, yet it will be proof against defeat. Simulate disorder postulates perfect discipline, and here postulates means that it requires it. Simulated fear postulates courage. Simulated weakness postulates strength. Hiding order behind the cloak of disorder is simply a question of subdivision. Concealing courage under a show of timidity presupposes a fund of latent energy. Masking strength with weakness is to be effected by tactical dispositions. Thus, one who is skillful at keeping the enemy on the move maintains deceitful appearances, according to which the enemy will act. He sacrifices something that the enemy may snatch at it. By holding out baits, he keeps him on the march. Then, with a body of picked men, he lies in wait for him. So, what Sun Tzu is explaining is that instead of just waiting for the enemy to make a mistake, what you do is you bait the enemy into them. And he's explaining a little bit about how you do so. Because when you're facing human opponents, when you're facing opponents who are looking for any sort of weakness to pounce on, what you do in the ideal here, because this is difficult to pull off, you make it look like that you're the one in disorder, but really you know what you're doing. You can't do this with untrained men and people who have no idea what they're doing. Faking looking disorganized takes a lot of organization. Faking looking afraid takes a lot of courage because you're doing something that is inherently vulnerable. And faking that you're weak is not something that you can get away with unless people have the confidence that you are actually strong. So these are not tactics to use when you have shaky men with shaky leadership. It's something that you do when you've actually done your homework and your preparation. And then you can do your feigned charges. Then you can do your appearance of disorder. Then you can do your feigned weakness. And the example that comes to mind for this would be the tactics of the Mongol hordes. Because they had all their horse cavalry, so they charge in and then they charge back. And they go twirling around, firing their bows, and they don't do a whole lot of damage, and they make it look like that they're not doing that much to you. So lines of armored infantry tended to see that and just go, they're not hurting us, let's go after them. Let's just chase them off the field. Yes, they're on horses, but they don't look that tough. So the infantry would just go flowing forward and breaking ranks, and then the cavalry would turn around and go around them, go through them, go between them, and shoot them to pieces, cut them to pieces, because it was feigned disorder. It was feigned chaos. But really, they knew what they were doing. And they were just making sure that the enemy took the bait. Now, this was long after Sun Tzu. But the idea is as old as warfare itself. If you are able to have people with the discipline to look undisciplined and then be able to turn the discipline back on, that's an army. And that's a way that you are going to find victory out in the battlefield. This has been Sun Tzu in 5 minutes. Thank you very much.